Most people trying to lose weight after 40 believe the solution is simple: just eat less and move more. But what I see over and over again in my work with my clients is that eating less is often the exact thing that keeps people stuck. My name is Chef Jessica Leibovich, and I work with people who have tried almost every diet you can imagine, whether it's low carb, counting calories, macro counting, or cutting out large groups of food. Usually something will work for a little while, but eventually the weight comes back and it's a vicious cycle. And after enough of that, people start feeling very frustrated, like something must be wrong with them. But the truth is, the problem usually is not discipline or willpower. The problem is that the nutrition advice is generic. I've spent most of my life working with food as a nutritional chef, and I absolutely love food. But that means I've had to learn how to manage my own health and weight while being surrounded by incredible food all of the time. I didn't take medication, I didn't have surgery, and I didn't give up the foods I love. What I had to learn instead was how to understand what my body actually needs. Now, at 50 years old, that understanding has become one of the most valuable skills I've ever developed. And it's the same process I now help other people learn. Because when someone finally understands how their own body works, weight loss stops feeling like a constant battle and a vicious cycle. Weight loss really is not about finding the perfect diet. It's about learning the skill of understanding what your body needs personally. And just like any other skill, it takes awareness and the right strategy. One of the most important things we have to do is take radical responsibility for our health. No one else is going to do that for us. Doctors can help guide us, nutritionists can give advice, but at the end of the day, we are the ones that are making the choices about what goes into our body every single day. And that means we have to develop the skill of understanding what specifically works for our body. This is where customization becomes incredibly important. When I work with my clients, we look at things that most diet plans completely ignore. We look at their preferences, their likes and dislikes. Because if somebody hates the food in their plan, they won't stick to it long term. We look at their family, because if everyone else in the house is eating one way and they're expected to eat something completely different, that creates constant friction. We look at their culture and traditions. Food is deeply connected to identity and community. And we look at lifestyle, work, schedules, travel, stress levels, responsibility, holidays, and social events. Because if a nutrition strategy doesn't fit somebody's real life, they will eventually fail. Think about it this way. Imagine trying to follow someone else's financial plan without knowing their income, their bills, or their goals. It just wouldn't work. Or imagine trying to follow a parenting strategy that was designed for a completely different family with completely different children. Nutrition works the same way. What works beautifully for one person might be completely wrong for someone else. If you want to start moving in the right direction, there are three things that matter much more than simply eating less. First, start paying attention to how your body responds to food. Notice your energy, your hunger, and your cravings. Your body is responsive and it's constantly giving you feedback. Second, build meals that actually sustain you. A lot of people eat meals that don't contain enough protein, fiber, or nourishment. And that's what leads to constant hunger later. Third, stop copying other people's diets. Your strategy has to fit your life, no one else's. Sometimes this process becomes deeper than just food. People start reconnecting with their body, their intuition, and their faith through practices like fasting and reflection. And that's where lasting change begins to happen. The real goal is not just losing weight. The real goal is learning the lifelong skill of understanding what your body needs so you can maintain your health and energy for the rest of your life. If you're someone who feels like you've tried everything and you're ready to actually understand what works for your body, I've created something called the Divine Body Blueprint. It's where I help people design a completely personalized nutrition strategy so they can finally learn the lifelong skill of managing their weight and energy. If you want to learn more, I'll put the link below.